Luques Curtis on the bass. Cory Fonville on the drums. Braxton Cook on alto saxophone, ladies. And Isadora Mendez-Scott on the vocals. And, my name is Christian Scott on the trumpet. Thank y'all so much for coming out. We'll see y'all next time. All right. Fuck it, we're gonna play some more serious shit. And we had a good enough time. Y'all been drinking? Who's drunk? Anybody drunk? I know one motherfucker in here is drunk. Cause he caught me on the stage, he was like, hello. Hey, baby. It's the first time a man ever called me baby. Well, that's all right, it's good. Get to be drunk is good. Look, you know, I like to make friends and shit, that's cool. So, since you guys have had a good time, we're gonna continue with it. We're gonna play one more for you guys. We really appreciate the encore. I will say that we do have shit for sale, so buy some shit. And, you know, this last song is actually about some shit that happened to me. It's a song that was born from an experience that I had in New Orleans, my native New Orleans, with a group of police officers who stopped me one night. Yeah, KKPD, you got it, that's right. I was driving home one night after doing a gig with a band called Soul Live. You guys know Soul Live? Soul Live, Soul Live? No? Yes. Okay, one motherfucker. Two? Three? Okay, it's four motherfuckers. But no, it's a really great band, and we finished the gig around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was driving home, and there was a car that followed my vehicle for like 10 blocks, 9 or 10 blocks with the lights off, you know? This type of shit. And at first I just thought it was, you know, some motherfuckers from the neighborhood maybe casing my vehicle trying to figure out if they wanted to rob me or not. And I had a 45 in the glove box, so I wasn't really worried. You guys know what a 45 is? I know shit is different over here. You know what that is? Okay, all right. You got one? Okay. He was like, yes, we know. See one in real life? Not at all. That's all right. You know, to be honest with you, I'm glad you guys don't have these type of issues here because it's really fucked up. But I had a 45 in the glove box, so I figured if it was some guys from the neighborhood trying to rob me, they were gonna have a long night. But it wasn't some neighborhood motherfuckers, it was the police. So of course they turned the sirens on, and I hadn't done anything wrong, so I moved over into the right lane because I figured they wanted to pass me because I hadn't done shit, you know? So of course they got in the lane behind me and I realized, fuck, they want me to pull over. So I pull the vehicle over, roll my window down. When I look up, my car is fucking surrounded. There's a vehicle in front of my car, to the left of my vehicle, and one behind my car. And I look into the rearview mirror, the lead officer is sort of a burly man, was standing right behind me and had his pistol drawn to the back of my head. And I could see this in the rearview mirror, you know. And of course, you know, the window was rolled down, so I asked him what it was that he wanted, why he was stopping me. And this motherfucker told me to get out of the car, to take my pants and my underwear down to my ankles and to lay on the ground. You get this? You guys understand that at all? Right? So he's, well, yeah, no. Anybody understands that? What the fuck? How do you understand that? I mean, listen, you know, I mean, there are some contexts where I would like to take my pants off and lay on the ground. That's not one of them. I didn't think he was that handsome. But, you know, so that shocked the shit out of me because, you know, I hadn't been used to being dealt with that way. And of course, this infuriated me. It made me really angry. But they have a really prolific history of doing that in places like New Orleans and Atlanta and in the South because they usually shoot guys before they say shit to them. So the natural inclination is just to run. So to stop you from running, they ask you to pull your pants down around your ankles. Do you understand it now? Right? Yeah. So of course, I hadn't done shit. I felt like this dude was fucking my night up, so I asked him what he wanted. He told me to get my ass out of the car and do this. I told him no. I can't describe to you the look on this motherfucker's face when I said no to him. He was so angry, I mean really incensed, like so much hate was in his eyes. And he told me that he was my boss. He was the boss, he was the authority, and I was supposed to shut the fuck up and do what it was he was telling me to do because he was the fucking boss. Now for me, that was a line, and I had to let him know that I paid my fucking taxes and I was his fucking boss. You understand this? You get this? Now look, I don't know what the rules are like here, right? But in America, maybe it's different here, but in America, these people are public servants, which means they work for the citizenry, right? So they're not supposed to just tell you what to fucking do, right? It's weird. It's a very strange world we live in where a motherfucker that basically gets paid from your tax dollars tells you to take your underwear off and lay on the fucking ground. So of course this made him really upset. He was really pissed and he told me again that I needed to get out of the car and that I didn't listen, and he started to call me different names and N-word and all of this stuff, so I decided I was going to call him some fucked up shit back. We went back and forth for about 5 minutes. To the point that he told me if I didn't comply with what it was he had to say, that my mother was going to have to pick me up from the morgue. You guys understand that? So he's telling me he's going to kill me. So at that point, I had had enough. I told him I had a 45 in the fucking glove box. If he wanted to do it, we was going to be some shooting motherfuckers out there, and that was okay with me, but he wasn't going to be able to deal with me like that. Now, I will say, 2 minutes later, a lieutenant showed up, which is a higher-ranking officer. And he realized something was wrong because you have 3 squad cars with a guy at gunpoint at 3 in the morning and they never radioed back to the station. You guys understand that? Right? So of course he told me I was allowed to go home, which also kind of pissed me off, but I left. I ain't gonna lie. I left. And I got home and it was really hard getting sleep that night because, you know, I haven't lived in New Orleans for almost 11 years. I actually recently just moved back. And but it's a very rough place, and you know, like my mother, she's a really rough lady, and I was staying by her that night. You know, she has a lot of guns. You know, she has like a 45, a 22, a Derringer, a Winchester rifle, a 10mm. She's got a lot of guns. But it's the type of place where I know from the outside perspective is, why does someone have this many guns? But if you lived in a place like that, and pretty much every day someone was pulling a gun on you and telling me, give me all your shit, or I'm going to rape your daughter, I'm going to do this, then you would have to have guns too because everyone around you has guns, right? So this is important to understand as well. This is not a utopic type of situation. This is a situation where it's nothing but gangsters and killers that have no resources and are undereducated so they could be a labor class or end up in a criminal fraternity. So it's not like this place, right? It was very hard to sleep that night, really hard. Because you're thinking, as a man, the first thing you're thinking is, you know, I grew up boxing when I was really young, so I'm thinking I can knock this motherfucker out, but he's pulling a gun on me and he thinks he's a fucking tough guy type thing. You understand that, my fellas? Y'all get that? Yeah? You too. Women too. That's true. But sometimes you think this, you know, someone wants to superimpose something on you and it's bullshit, you know. But I couldn't sleep that night, and I realized that a smarter thing to go back there and try and fucking blow this guy's brains out was to try and write something about it that really captured what that felt like in that moment. So that when I came to places like this, people hopefully were open enough to be able to listen to this type of stuff and realize that there was real validity to the way that people live in other places. So the last song that we're going to do for you guys is a very serious composition, but the song is about the overtly racist sentiment of a lot of police officers all over the world towards blacks. And it's some shit that needs to end because people are getting tired of taking it. So the last song that we're going to play for you is called Ku Klux Police Department.